Hello guys, welcome to a new vlog. This is just a collection of footage from between August and December last year, which never really warranted a video of its own, so I thought I'd put it all together and hopefully you guys will enjoy it as a little collection of things that I did through the course of that time. So first up, this footage is from Worthing Meanwhile Comic Con, which is a small event I did here on the south coast on the 11th of August, which was the day after my birthday. It was a really quiet event, but everyone was really friendly. I got to have a nice chat to some other artists, some of whom I had followed online and not had the chance to speak to before, and also the organisers were really nice as well. They looked after us. And then halfway through the day I got a big surprise because my friend Liz suddenly appeared at my table all the way from Leeds, and basically I was going to be staying with my friend Lissy, aka Lissy Rain, for the weekend after the convention, and then Liz appeared and announced that she was staying with us as well, and there were some distraction tactics involving Liz taking me to the supermarket to buy some food we didn't actually need, and then when I came back to Lissy's house it turned out that there was a surprise party waiting for me, and there was our friends Danny and Michelle as well. And I'll put their links in the description below, but I didn't really film them for the video because I didn't want to make them uncomfortable or anything. Yes, those are cakes with my artwork on. Thank you so much to Lissy and Danny for arranging that, it's amazing. So yeah, that was a real surprise, so it was a really nice experience. And the next day we went to Corfe, which is in Dorset, and I've kind of ended up with a tradition where I go to a castle or some sort of manor house or something like that for my birthday because I love exploring them and I find them really inspiring, and luckily I live near quite a few, so for my last few birthdays I've been to one, and so we kept the tradition going and we went to Corfe Castle. And Corfe and the castle itself are just absolutely beautiful. I would like to live there. It's just lovely, and it was really nice to explore the ruins. And there was a tent where you could go in and put on these medieval style clothes and do a sort of treasure hunt kind of thing. You find the signs with the pictures on, you need to put a stamp on your sheet, and then you need to do like a brass rubbing of a picture, and it was really fun. And then after that we went over to Kimmeridge Bay. This is part of the Jurassic coastline, so the landscape is very, very different to where I live. So for anyone who doesn't know, I live in a seaside town, but we have chalk cliffs and a rock beach, and it is totally different to Dorset area, which is a totally different kind of rock. I'm not remotely scientific, I don't know anything about it. So Lissy is actually very experienced in geology, and so she taught us a lot about it while we were there. But yeah, it's completely different, and it's got loads and loads of fossils. There's just fossils everywhere you look, and it was amazing. It was such a beautiful place. There was also a visitor centre where you could look at some more fossils and bones of different sea creatures and read information about them, and then there was a little room where they had some tanks where you could see small seahorses and crabs and things like that as well. After that we were all just done in, so we just went back to Lissy's and fell asleep in front of the TV. So it was a really amazing weekend, and I can't thank them enough for organising it and surprising me. And I also got some presents that they gave me and a wonderful card, and Andrew gave me the necklace and the ring, so thank you, because I had my eye on those and I don't know how he knew, but I really like them. And Liz got me the earrings, so thank you Liz as well, and thank you to everyone who contributed to the card. It was just beautiful. The artwork on the front of the card is of me from a selfie that I took ages ago, and it's by Liz and she did a really good job. Also shout out to Lissy's cat Luna, who is the cutest thing ever, and I love her, and it took all of my willpower not to put her in my jacket and take her home with me.
Just finished this doodle with the Polychromos pencils. They are really, really nice to use. They blend so nicely, really smooth, and I love the different tones that you've got in here. There's a good selection that works really well together. Yeah, this is a reference piece that I was drawing for my friend Liz. I was actually working on it at Worthing when she appeared at my table, and I dropped the pen and like ran around the table shouting, so it's a miracle that I didn't mess up this drawing. But yeah, all finished now finally. So yeah, this is a redesign of my character Frankie, who was originally called Steve, and it was kind of a placeholder name that ended up hanging on for way too long. Yeah, so this is a side character from Wired. They're an AI who appears as a hologram. They have no physical form, and they have a lot of control over the other androids and cyborgs in the area, so they're a very powerful person to deal with, and they have no loyalty to anyone, so you never know whether to trust them or not. So they're really fun to write, and I'm really happy that I finally got this new reference of their design down. Hi guys, so right now it is the 16th of September. Please excuse the mess. I can't believe it's only 6 weeks till Comic Con. It's weird because I don't usually do 4 conventions in 1 year, usually I do 2, so it's not a lot for other people, but for me it seems a lot, and it feels like I've just got back from my last one and now suddenly I'm straight into MCM prep, and I don't think I'm really going to have much new stock prints wise. Anyway, I'm hoping to get another sketchbook done because I have a lot more sketches than I thought I did, so hopefully I'll be able to do that. A couple of days ago the bookings opened for autographs and photos with the cast of Critical Role who are going to be there, and I managed to get some, so I'm having a photo with the whole cast. Laura and Travis aren't going to be there, but the others are, and I'm also getting autographs with Matt and Liam, so I'm really, really nervous, but I'm really excited because I just kind of want to say thank you to them. You know, Critical Role has meant a lot to me. It's been almost exactly a year since I first got into D&D, or rather since I first played my first D&D game, which was actually on the 17th of September 2017, because I have this noted down for some reason. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of thank them for the difference that D&D and Critical Role has brought into my life, and I feel like playing D&D has improved my confidence, and it's given me something to share with my friends and a sense of community, and it's because of Critical Role that I mostly got into D&D. There are loads of other podcasts and shows out there to do with D&D, but I haven't got around to watching them yet because there's just so many and I don't have the time. Excuse me, just hiccup in the middle of what I was saying. Yeah, so there are lots of others. I'm not saying Critical Role is the only one or the best one or whatever, but for me, I've really enjoyed it. It's meant a lot to me and it's helped me to learn how to play. And so I just want to kind of say thank you to them and hopefully give them some artwork that I've made. And yeah, just, I really like photos, so having a photo keepsake will be really nice. I don't want to be like a crazy fangirl, I just want to say thank you, and yeah, that'll be just something nice to keep as a memory, and I'm really, really excited. So it's the 30th of September right now. I'm making the most of the last day in which I can say that MCM is next month, because from tomorrow it will be MCM is this month, and I'm not emotionally ready for that in any capacity, so that's the mood for today. So right now I'm making an early start on Inktober, which I don't know if I will be seeing through at all, at least not in the traditional sense, because I've got an idea and I want to kind of use it more as a motivator, like a kind of springboard, instead of just like a hardcore challenge kind of thing. So basically I saw a list of prompts called 31 Witches, which was by someone called Ochibrochi. I think I probably said that wrong, but I will put the name along the bottom somewhere. And that was going around Twitter and Tumblr and that a couple of years ago. There have been some more since, but I like the original prompt list the most. It was different themes for drawing witches through Inktober. And I had the idea, because I was debating between doing the witch prompts and doing OC-tober, which is where you just draw your original characters through Inktober. And I thought, well, I draw my original characters all the time anyway, so maybe I should try and combine the witch thing and an OC idea and make new OCs who are witches, which gives me more work, but I'm gonna suffer anyway, so I just figured I'll go for it. So yeah, basically what I'm doing is taking each prompt, designing a character for it, and then if I like how they all turn out, I'm gonna try and make like a little zine and print each picture, and then on the other page I'll have some information about the character. So hopefully it will all come out nice, but yeah, we'll just see how it goes, and it might spill over into November and maybe even December, because this has happened before. But like I said, I want to use it more as a motivator than just a challenge. I know there's going to be people who are probably going to think, why are you even bothering to try? But you know, if something inspires you, just go for it. This is my first one, who is the Autumn Witch, and I've done this with the glass dip pen that I've got here. Me and this dip pen are not friends. This is totally not because I have no idea how to use it, it's totally down to the pen. And I'm using this ink right now, which would help if I actually showed you the label the right way around. There it is. That's the Zig Sumi ink. So this is waterproof, so I'm going to do like an ink wash over the top of this as well, and just add a little bit of depth and dimension to it rather. And I might play around with this. I've had this for literally years. I bought this when I was in college. The art shop used to have some really cheap stuff. I've got random bits of paper stuck to my hands. I don't know where that's come from. Yeah, I wish I'd made the most of it more actually. I think this was like £1 or something crazy like that, but they had such subsidised prices. I'm really struggling tonight, guys. Yeah, this was like £1 and they had watercolour pencils by Derwent, which were super cheap as well. I should have just bought the entire shop, to be honest, because now 27-year-old me is looking back at teenage me, it's like, why didn't you make the most of this? But yes, if this is still all okay, which I presume it is because it's like 9 years old now, I'm going to use that. I've also got this Winsor & Newton Gold, which is really nice to use, and I've got some brush pens as well. I've got, if I can reach, I've got the, I can't remember what brand this is now because it's all in Japanese. It's not a Pentel. I can't remember what that is, but it's a brush pen of some description. So I've got loads of different pens and I'm going to try and get them all out, give them all a go, just see how it turns out, throw some ideas around and see what happens. Also, I want to try and put together another sketchbook, like I said, for MCM hopefully. I've got all the sketches done, just got to format it and send it off. And I'm hoping to have a couple more prints done possibly, so yeah, that's kind of what's on the to-do list for now. So I just looked it up and that was the Pilot pocket brush pen, which I've got the fine and the medium, and it's got kind of, if you can see there, a more firm brush tip, which is like a fibre tip, and it's much more easy for me to control as opposed to this kind of thing, which is the Pentel pocket brush pen, which is a very popular pen, but for me personally, as you can see there, it's a very long brush tip. For me personally, that is something that I am very not used to using and I am really struggling with. I've got this picture here, which is probably my favourite thing I've done with it so far. It took a lot of time and a lot of practice to get those really thin lines on the face. My laptop's just decided it's had enough. But when it gets out to those broader strokes, it becomes quite difficult to control. Yeah, so basically, I find it difficult to control on the fine strokes and the broad strokes. So all around, it's going great. But yeah, this is definitely something that's going to be a long-term learning process for me. I'm pleased with my progress so far because I didn't used to be able to create these smaller lines at all with that pen. But it's just something that's going to take much longer for me to learn than most of my other tools. So yeah, watch this space. I will keep trying, but for now it's just taking me a while because I'm just not used to it at all. And it's not down to the quality of the product at all. It is a really nice pen, the ink is really pigmented, but it's just not something that I'm used to using. So I'm back home now. I'm just watching one of Conte's studio vlogs, which is very chilled and very relaxing while I work. I've just finished my second Inktober piece, so I'm not strictly doing them on the day, I'm kind of just doing them as and when and just seeing how it goes. So at the moment I'm actually ahead, but that's not going to last, I can tell you that for sure. So yeah, we have the Autumn Witch, which is the seasonal witch prompt, and then we have the Urban Witch. For this one I've decided to go for a sort of London theme. Just when I hear the word urban, that's the kind of thing I picture, so I wanted to play around with a little bit more of a simplistic style on this one, and I've used this Unipin Fineliner with the brush tip. So thank you to Sophia Lou for telling me about this one because I did not know it existed, and it's actually really nice to use, and it's obviously got the pigment ink as well, water and fade proof, so that's really good that you can use it with pretty much anything. So yeah, that's what I used with this one, and then also the Kuretake, I think this is. Yeah, that's a Zig brush pen as well. So I just used that to cover the larger areas here, and then I used the Pentel paint marker, which I highly recommend these. These are really nice to use, they give a really smooth coverage, and it just kind of covers up anything underneath it as well, so if you've made a mistake it will usually pretty much cover it all without any evidence, which is good, because that's what happened here, because I started to use a silver Posca marker and my Posca marker has died, and I discovered too late, and it just didn't come out well. So luckily I managed to cover it up with the gold, but I do regret not ordering this one in different colours, so I might do an order of this one in the copper and the silver as well, because that's quite a popular option to have for my convention commissions with the metallic elements. It just adds a little bit of something, a little bit of sparkle to the commissions. So also I had a text saying that I had a parcel on the way that I had to sign for, and I had no idea what it was, but then it turned up and it is the Galman Tablet, the S56K round 2. So this is the second one, and I'm going to give this a go and see how it does, because as you guys know in my review there were some calibration issues with this tablet, and Galman were not very happy about this, and they tried to resolve the issue but none of their solutions worked, and so they've just sent me a new tablet which they've tested, and they said they've seen that it actually works and it has no faults, and so hopefully I should be able to do a review where it doesn't have any problems. So we had a bit of a to-do about that, shall we say, because they kind of wanted me to take my video down, and I said, well, it was just an honest review, so I mean, if you send me a product, I'm going to give an honest review, because I think that's the right thing to do. I don't want to be here for just free advertising. So yeah, that's my principle, to be honest. I know that you guys are wanting me to give you honest feedback on stuff, and that's what I'm going to do, so you don't spend your money on things that aren't necessarily what you want. And so I just gave my honest feedback on this product, and it wasn't a bad tablet, it just had a few faults with the calibration which we couldn't get to the bottom of, and now they've sent me this, and hopefully I can do a follow-up review with one that hasn't got any of those faults and actually show you what it's like when it works. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. I'm not sure how I'm going to find the time to do it, because I'm really busy with MCM prep and other stuff. So yeah, we'll see how that goes, I think. It is now the 2nd of October. I'm just putting together my ideas for my star badges that I'm getting made for London. So basically an artist friend of mine, Lauren, got a badge press that allows her to make star-shaped badges, and she was offering other artists a chance to order some. And so I decided, bearing in mind that they're star-shaped and they're going to be holographic, I would do some of my designs kind of spacey themed. So I've got Cinnamon here because he's cute and he knows it, so hopefully people will like that one. And then this one here is going to be mostly focused on the text, but then I might put some little things around the edge, like little rockets or astronaut helmet or something like that. Again, I'm bearing in mind, because like this red line is the line I can't go out of, so it's trying to fit in interest into it without adding too much detail, similar to the charms. So yeah, I'm just working with a small space and seeing what I can do. And then for the other designs, I think I'm going to do a really self-indulgent Space Ace one. And then for the others, I'm not decided yet if I want to do something D&D related, or something to do with Taryn, or something to do with Nico. Obviously none of those things are spacey, but I wanted to do like 3 space designs and then 2 that weren't, just to see how they did, because it's all kind of experimental. So yeah, I'm not sure yet whether I'm going to run with a witch theme, because witches are in, and obviously MCM happens just before Halloween, so I might do something witchy and something D&D-ish, so I haven't quite decided yet. I also think I'm going to make this girl into a print, which I wasn't initially planning to, but I think she's been more popular than I expected as a Inktober post, and I do like how she turned out. And initially I thought, well, I guess then to tidy it up I'll have to scan it in and tidy up the lines and stuff, but that's what I would always have done when I scanned my traditional artwork and tried to make it neat and digital, but I don't think I need to do that. Like, again, that's part of fighting the perfectionism in my work, and part of that is trying not to make everything look so uniform, because the whole point is that you don't want all your artwork to look the same, and my old belief would be that it all had to look the same or it wouldn't be my work. And that sounds really stupid when I say it, but it's a belief that has been with me for a very long time. And so I'm trying to embrace the differences in my work, even if I didn't particularly mean for a piece to turn out the way it did. So this piece was done with the dip pen, which comes with a kind of unevenness in the lines, and this is partly down to the pen and partly down to me not being hugely practiced at using it, but I think part of the charm of this illustration is that the lines are a little bit scratchy and a little bit uneven, and they don't have the uniformity that my digital lines tend to have. So I think I might just scan it in as it is and add some more colour to make it a bit more vibrant and make it into a print as it is. So I'm looking forward to trying to explore that. So that thing about me vlogging the entire process of prepping for this convention has not really happened because I ended up doing a really busy work week. Yeah, I ended up doing like a seven-day work week because there are a lot of people off at work, and then I got a cold and I was trying to do con prep, and in between all of it I just didn't record anything. So it is now the 21st. I'm still a little bit croaky, so sorry if I sound a bit weird. I lost my voice for 3 days, so everyone got some peace and quiet. Yeah, so what I've got done recently is my Mighty 9 print, which is the cast of Critical Role, or the main characters, for anyone who isn't familiar. So I'm going to have this as a standard luster print, like my normal ones, and also a limited edition pearlescent print. And I've also been running off some stickers yesterday, so I've made some of my charms into stickers. So we've got the Natural Disaster, we also have the Naturally Lucky, we've got Sylvan, and we have the Tiny and Full of Rage as well. So they have come out really nicely as stickers, so I am going to do some more of those because the Natural Disaster and Naturally Lucky were actually more popular than I expected online, so I'm going to try and run off some more of those, and hopefully that should be enough. What I want to do next is I've got to print off all my tickets and stuff because I wouldn't be able to get in without those, so they're quite important. And then I want to print off some more price labels, some new commission prices, and maybe some labels for my acrylic charms, just to make them look a bit better, I think. So it's now the 23rd of October. I've just received 2 of my print orders, and I have a problem, because one of these is not like the others, and these are not mine. So I'm going to contact the printer and see if they can send the prints of mine that are missing from here onto my hotel, maybe, or the convention centre, so that I can actually get them in time. I hope this artist who made this very lovely artwork, I do not know who it is, I'll put it here if I find out, I hope that they can receive their prints if they contact them. I don't know, I'm really not sure what to do. I'm just going to contact the printer and be like, hey, you've messed up a bit here. So that's kind of a problem that I didn't need. But yeah, I hope for my sake and the sake of this other artist that we can get this resolved quickly and everyone can get their prints in time. On a good note, the ones I do have look really good. So this is the pearlescent version of the Mighty 9. So as you can see, this has got this really nice sheen. And this is the, I think it's called Polar Pearlescent, so it's more of a white, more of a cool tone. And then this is the Oyster Pearlescent, which has a warmer tone, which I thought suited my witch print. So yeah, she's got a really nice sheen there. So these are both going to be quite short runs. There's going to be limited runs. And then the ones here, I've got my A5s which are waiting to be cut. And then I've got Mighty 9 in the standard luster as well. So I'm going to have my standard luster version of that one, then a pearl as well. This one is only in pearl. And then I should have a print of Mollymawk from Critical Role, but that's the one that's missing. So I'm going to go and try and sort that out now. So I've just got back from a little walk because I've been indoors for 3 days doing con prep, so I thought I should probably have a walk to get some fresh air. So that's cleared my head a bit, so that's nice.
I also contacted Printed, and they are going to send out some more of the prints that I'm missing to get here on Thursday morning before I leave, hopefully. But also I have contacted the artist, who is Sushi Art Studios, of the prints that I received that weren't mine, and she's actually going to be at MCM, so I'm going to take those to her and hopefully find her. So I've no idea where my Molly prints ended up. I don't know if they've ended up with her because she hasn't had the rest of her order yet. So my sketchbooks are here. It's the 24th now, so I'm leaving tomorrow. This is my full colour sketchbook called Iridium, and this time around I went for a soft touch laminate because previously I've gone for the gloss laminate on my sketchbooks, but I picked the wrong paper stock, so I made the paper too thin for the laminate and it curled up. Sorry, my voice has gone really croaky again. Yeah, so previously I've made a mistake with the kind of paper and the kind of laminate, and then I went for silk, and then this time I have gone for the soft touch laminate, and I've gone for this because this cover obviously has a lot of dark colours and I just didn't want it to rub off, so I thought I'd better choose a laminate. Oh wow. And yeah, it feels really nice. It's kind of unusual, but I like the feel of it. I hope other people will like it too. And yeah, this is just a collection of sketches and doodles and kind of drawings that I like, but they're not quite enough to make into prints, if you know what I mean. So I've got pictures of Renna, I've got all sort of concepts for different characters. These are Taryn's siblings, lots of Taryn. There's some Critical Role stuff, and I've also got some double page spreads in here, which I haven't tried before in a book, but they've come out really nice. So yeah, I'm really happy with how these have turned out, and I hope that other people will enjoy it too. What is this?
Yeah! 14!
What does it do? I feel like I'm going down a mine and finding things. It just kind of looks like the room just wasn't finished. This is just... nothing makes any sense.
So, MCM, that was an experience. It was really crazy in the best possible way. I shared a table with Ben Norris, aka Baron Nobody, who was the best table partner ever, so patient, especially when I was running around waiting in queues for most of the day on Sunday, so they had to watch my table for most of that day. And their work is beautiful, so please go and check it out if you can. So yeah, I had the opportunity to meet a lot of Critical Role fan artists that I've only known online, and that was really nice. I also got to meet Tess Fowler, who is another Critical Role artist, and she's just, again, so nice. Everyone was so nice. I'm just so overwhelmed by it. And she said some lovely things about my work, and her work is beautiful as well, especially her line work. She does all her work traditionally, and it's just stunning line work, so please go and check out her work if you haven't already heard of her. It's still a long learning process, but I'm slowly figuring out what sells and how to sell it. Like, my charms did so much better this time around because I displayed them differently and I put the packaging on them, and I feel that did so much to help, and so I can put that into practice next time. Also, I put some fairy lights in the shape of some flowers on my display, and I thought that just added something to it. So yeah, I'm really happy with how it went, and I will put everything I learned into my future conventions. I did receive some wonderful gifts while I was at MCM, so first up we have this dice bag, which was made by Sophie, aka Fairflax, who DM'd a game that I used to play in. Unfortunately I had to leave because of time commitments, it kept clashing with my work, but I really enjoyed it, and she made me this dice bag that looks like a little dragon in my favourite colours, and inside we have some really cool things. First up we have a potion of greater healing, which has 4d4 inside. I thought that was really neat. Then we also have some coins, of course, because, well, my character has quite a lot of money, the character that I played in that campaign, because she comes from quite a wealthy background, and so she fitted everything that was in there around my character, and I just thought that was really nice that she took the time and the effort to do that. There was also this hair slide, which was labelled Sending Stones. These can cast sending at will. And then there was some neat little crystals, and finally there was a necklace that she picked out because it looked like something that my character Renna would wear, because also Renna's deity, because she's a cleric, is the Moonweaver. And so I thought this was really pretty, I love it, and it's just so accurate to the character, so thank you so much, Sophie. I really appreciate the effort that you put into that. I also received these drawings from Sara, who goes by Astronixia on Instagram and other social media, and Sara has bought quite a few things from me, including commissions, and has been a great supporter of my work, and I really appreciate these little gifts. They're so cute. It's always amazing when people take the time to draw my characters. I cannot thank them enough. It just makes me so happy. I also received this lovely original artwork of my boy Taryn from Ben, so thank you so much. This is so beautifully done. And I bought some of Ben's books as well. These are called Fight or Flight, and they are basically fantasy characters that are birds. And it's a little collection of illustrations with some descriptions of the characters, and it's really interesting learning about their backstory and the world that Ben has created, and I highly recommend checking them out. Also, the artwork on the back is just beautiful. This one has this really detailed image with these skulls, which is so cool, and then the other one has such a cute little character on the back as well. I just love them. Next up are some things I bought from Corfe, who is a wonderful artist who does a lot of D&D stuff and has such a unique style. I love it. This is Blackwood Circus, which is a comic that they've made, and the artwork is stunning. Look at this lighting, it's just lovely, and I love the characters as well. And then we also have D and Doodles, which is about their group Titan Walk. This is a collaborative book where they've written some information about their characters, and they've drawn some scenes and some comics and some character artwork, and you get to learn about the background of their campaign and how their characters came to be together and travel together. And I love these characters. I'm so excited to learn more about them, and I really enjoyed it. So if you're into D&D, I highly recommend checking this one out. All the artists have such varied styles and they work so well together. Next up is this comic that I bought from Anemone Tea, who is Kit Buss, who did the artwork for the first campaign of Critical Role. Her comic basically continues the story of the guest character that she played in Critical Role, called Lilith, who is a tiefling, and it shows her origins and how she came to be where she is. The comic is called Clove and Bloodlines, and her artwork is just beautiful, and I'm really excited to see more. Next up is this print that I bought from Fez Baker, who now goes by Fez Inc, and Fez does really beautiful botanical themed work, but also mixed with fantasy elements and D&D. I bought this barbarian print. The flowers were picked specifically by Fez to match the theme of the work, which is what they do with a lot of their illustrations that involve botanical themes, and I really love the thought that goes into them. This says along the bottom, "They have loved your sorrow, they will learn to love your rage instead," which is quite suitable for my character, and it's printed on this really nice textured watercolour paper as well, so I really wanted a copy of this and I'm excited to find out somewhere that I can put it. In the last few minutes of the convention, I managed to find Conte, who I hadn't been able to find before because we were quite far apart, and so it was nice to say hello, however brief it was, and I bought a couple of books. I got Conte Sketches Volume 2, which has a really nice variety of different things. It's got character art, it's got environments, vehicles, and so on. And I really like the variation that Conte puts into their work. It's just all so beautifully done, and I really admire their urge to keep sort of improving themselves and trying new things. And I also picked up Outdraws, which is a collection of sketches that Conte has done outside while visiting different places, and it's like a little scrapbook in a way, and it's really nicely presented, and I just love looking through it. I also got to see Tricky Wagon really quickly while I was at Conte's table, so it was really nice to meet you. Sorry I didn't actually get to come and see your table or buy anything. I also got given this print of our boys Taryn and VIN from Liz, aka Zombie Octopus, and she gave me a sticker of them as well, which I put onto my sketchbook, so thank you Liz. They look adorable and I love them so much. And also thank you to whoever left the Critter Artist and Critical Scope stickers on my table. I wasn't there at the time, but I guess they saw my Critical Role artwork and left them behind for me, so thank you mystery person, I really appreciate it. Another thing I'm really excited about is that I won a copy of How to Think When You Draw by the Etherington Brothers, and basically I really wanted this book when it was on the Kickstarter, but I missed out on it because I accidentally pledged with the wrong card, which was totally my fault. And then Mixum, who are the printing company that I use for my books, had a competition at MCM to win a copy. And I didn't win the competition at the convention, but I then entered online. You had to take a picture of their stand and put it on Twitter, and I won that one and I won a copy, so I'm really excited. Finally, as I mentioned, I had the chance to meet the cast of Critical Role, and I had a photograph taken with the whole cast. It was kind of rushed, so I didn't get the chance to talk to them, which isn't their fault, but it was really nice to have this sort of keepsake. And then I also met Liam O'Brien and Matthew Mercer, so I got this print signed by Liam. I'm not sure who the artist is, it was part of the range of like official stuff on his table that you could get signed, and so if anyone knows who the artist is, please let me know, because I still don't know. But yeah, he wrote "Leave me alone, I'm reading," which is a very suitable quote for Caleb, and he said that he'd already seen my artwork on Twitter and that he really liked it, and he was going to put the Mighty Nine artwork into the fan art gallery of the next episode. And then I got to speak to Matt, who was kind of being rushed because the stewards were saying that they had overrun their time slot, because again, like I said, MCM really should have prepared better for this, because in the end just everything was off schedule. But anyway, Matt was trying his best to still find the time to talk to everyone, which I really appreciated. He must have been so stressed. And he said that he really liked my artwork, and it was really nice to have a quick conversation with him. He's honestly the sweetest person ever, and I just wanted to say thank you for the inspiration that Critical Role has brought to me. So yeah, MCM was just incredible. I had the chance to meet so many people, different creators of all kinds that I really look up to, and it was just an incredible experience. So since MCM, I haven't really done anything that's vlog worthy. I've just been recording my normal videos, but I might pick it up again soon, because at the moment I'm working on some new print designs. I'm kind of refreshing the range in my store, hopefully, and figuring out how to run it more efficiently. And I'm going to be moving stores soon as well, because Ticktail is closing, so I've got to move my store back to Store Envy, which is a bit annoying, but what can you do? So I will be working on that very soon. I've just been kind of trying to keep up regular sketchbook work and doing artwork for my comic and writing the final scenes of Wired and working through a long list of commissions. So thank you so much to everyone who's commissioned me. I just love all of your character designs, and I feel so honoured that you chose me to draw them. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little collection of footage from last year. Sorry it took me a little while to get around to editing it all together. It just kind of never felt enough for a video by itself, so I wanted to wait until I had enough to put all together. But I hope you enjoyed watching it, and thank you so much, I really appreciate you stopping by. So I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!